it's Lindsay from My Crafty Plans. Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. Today I am going to be planning in my Laurel Denise planner. The one that I have is the undated vertical edition. I actually got this as swag from Go Wild back in the spring, and I've been using this as my content planner ever since. I did take off last month in August in here. We just had like a lot of vacation going on, and I had to really simplify things down because there was so much travel last month, but it's September and I'm ready to dive back into this. I did really miss having this set up for the month. So today we'll be getting this all set up for the month of September. Also super exciting, today is actually launch day for the new dated 2024 Laurel Denise planners. I have a dated horizontal one coming my way. I will share that as soon as I get it so that you all can see it. I don't have it yet, but I was able to purchase that in an affiliate pre-sale. So hopefully I will have that soon to share with you. I can't wait to share. I'm gonna be using that for next year, I think, as my content planner. I decided I absolutely loved the Laurel Denise planner. It's working super well. I wanna stick with it for next year, but I do think I'm gonna switch over to the horizontal format of hers instead of the vertical format of hers. Again, the new dated line launches today at 12 Eastern. There's options for both vertical and horizontal, and also a mini planner that looks super, super cute. So definitely head over to her website and check that out. And I am a Laurel Denise affiliate, so if you are shopping the launch and you want to use my links, they are down in the description below. While it is very early to be shopping for the 2024 planners, I do want to just warn you, if you are newer to Laurel Denise, the dated planners did sell out pretty quickly last year. I don't know what's going to happen this year, but just a little heads up on that. And I also have a discount code that you can use to save a little bit. I will put that across the screen and it's down in the description below as well. Happy shopping. If you pick something up, definitely let me know. There's also a lot of new accessories and different things coming out, so I can't wait to see my new horizontal planner and what everyone else decides to pick up. So with that, let's jump in here. We can take a look at July was the last time I used this, so this here is kind of typically what things look like for me in here. And if you are unfamiliar with Laurel Denise planners, I do have a full overview of this planner, but basically you get to see your month, your week, and some dashboard space all at the same time, and then sort of like a Dutch door spread in a bullet journal, you can flip through the weeks and all of the other parts of the planner are still visible. So then as you flip through your weeks, you kind of get to this back section here, and this is the undated planner, so there's 5 weeks in every month. In the dated version, it's just dated continuously. Then on the back of that, we do have this notes page. This is my little secret section, so I have that just covered up. It just has information about upcoming collabs and different things that I'm working on, or anything that has like an embargo date where I'm not allowed to share it until after a certain point. So I just use that as kind of like a little secretive notes section. I love that because for filming purposes, I have that like I have a little note section of information that I'm not gonna share, but I can still show the whole planner and everything like that. So anyway, that is that. And then you have just this big dashboard space here. And then part of that is hidden during the weeks. Part of it is just always visible. So I use this for things that I'm like tracking that I always wanna see. And then this I use for like a little bit of social media analytics tracking, which I don't always want to see, but I like to have. So that is just kind of how I use this space. We're going to be mostly using this the same, and I am ready to jump in. So because this is an undated planner, I'm not going to like skip any months or anything like that. I'm just going to dive right into the next page. So my calendar here will run from July to September, and we are going to get this all set up. I'm going to do this as a sped up voiceover again. So I'm going to throw it over to the voiceover now and dive right in.
This is the undated planner. I am going to go ahead and date things first. I dated the monthly parts and then also the weekly parts. I'm using stickers from Laurel Denise. She sells a pack of dating stickers where the font matches the planner, and it has enough to date an entire undated planner for a year, both the months and weeks. It's a pretty cool set of stickers. I really, really like this. Although next year I will be using a dated planner, so I won't have to do this. And even better, Laurel Denise makes a Monday start option, so you can get a Monday start planner or a Sunday start planner, and the month on the Monday start one starts on Monday as well as the week, and then on the Sunday start one, both the month and the week start on Sunday. So super cool. You know I love a Monday start. As I mentioned before, I use this as my content planner for all things social media, and I love being able to see the month and the week and the dashboard at the same time. It's so helpful for me in terms of scheduling, especially for all of the short form content that I do. I can like look at the monthly calendar, see what YouTube videos I have coming up, and also see see kind of like what events and other things are going on, and then kind of make my weekly schedule around that. So it's been really, really useful. I have a very large desk, and usually unless I'm filming and then I clear it off for filming, I have multiple planners open on my desk, including this one. But I am very much a person who looks at a monthly calendar and a weekly calendar, or a monthly calendar and a daily calendar at the same time. I just find that really helpful. So I think that this planner is really awesome because of that. And for me personally, it is not enough space to plan every area of my life. I use planners for absolutely everything, and I am filling pages in multiple planners. So this amount of space is just not going to work for me to cover everything. I do find it extremely helpful for one specific thing. If you do have super teeny tiny handwriting, you might be able to use this as a full life planner, like for every area of your life. And Laurel Denise herself definitely has the teeniest, tiniest, prettiest handwriting. I absolutely love her handwriting. I also think that this makes a really great planner for someone who's just getting started with planning and doesn't want to track all of the things all at once. If you're just diving in and you're going to really focus in on one area or the big picture, this is a really great planner for that as well. Otherwise, I think that this works phenomenally for a single part of your life. For me, that's content, and I actually know a lot of other content creators, both in the planner space and outside the planner space, really love this planner as their content planner as well. But I also think that this would make a really good work planner or a really good academic planner if you're just like kind of focusing in on the big picture for the month. You've got lots of listing space in the weekly here, and then you've got all that dashboard space to set up to track with, which we will do in a minute. Also use this planner as a kind of mom or parenting hub, and have your monthly school calendar and then everything going on the days, and then again lots of dashboard space to like list out activities or school obligations, homework projects, different things like that for your kids. So I think that there's a lot of options here. I decide that a specific life area needs its own planner. For me, is that when it starts to feel like that thing is taking over my entire planner system, my entire planner, at the expense of other areas of life, I'm like, okay, well, this needs its own space now. And that's kind of what happened with content for me. So I moved it into here, and it's been fantastic. My monthly calendar first, as usual. That's kind of how I do everything in my life. I go monthly and then into the weekly, into the daily. Usually in here, I set up the dashboard space first, but my schedule was like really firmly on my mind because we were already into September. It was actually September 6th when I was filming this, and I really needed to just like get some thoughts on the paper about what was going on this week because it's Laurel Denise launch, but there are other planner launches coming up. This is the busiest month, both in my personal life and in like the planner world. There's so many things coming out this month. So stay tuned for more on that. Just jotted down some of the weekly things. I use the section at the bottom of the week and at the top to do my weekly schedule for Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and then the space in the middle for notes and to-dos. And I keep everything color-coded, and I have a different color for each of the 3 streams. So right now we're in yellow that's for YouTube, and I'm making my video list. So that is my tracker for how much work I've done on the YouTube videos. I put the ideas down when I have them, and then check it off for when it's filmed, edited, and uploaded. And then I'm just copying over my same little analytics table for the videos as well. And I keep the analytics behind the hidden part, and I keep the to-do list on the visible part. That way I can see what I'm working on. And then if I want to check in on how something performed, I can flip the page over and take a look at it. So in my dashboard space, when I started working on this, I hadn't intended to change things. But then as I was kind of flipping back and forth to see what I used in July versus what I didn't, I did ended up making a pretty big adjustment to this, which you'll see on the sidebar space, the non-grid portion, in just a minute. But for right now, what I'm working on is just that video tracker. I love adding a pop of color in here. I just think it really makes like the page pop and look really, really great. And for me, as with any other planner, when something looks nicer, I tend to use it more. I tend to keep track of it more. That being said, I was so crooked on my lines this month. I don't know what happened. I just drew them all kind of diagonally. Usually the dots really help me line things up, but things just got a little bit out of hand this week. Or while I was planning this. And for this month, in addition to having a highlighter and a dot pen, I also grabbed a click art pen that matches with each of the colors. I have been loving those lately. If you are a fan of Papermate flares, or if you were a fan of Papermate flares back in the day, I think you're really going to love the click art pens. And I'm just Super obsessed with those lately. So I've been having so much fun. And you can also highlight over those. They're instant dry. So as soon as you write on them, you can highlight over them. So pretty cool. This is my other tracking section down here where I just kind of track things out for all of the channels. I realize now, I think looking at this, I think I forgot to put the weeks in here. So I will figure that out later. I was copying this over from my July page, but also paring it back a little. I just decided to cut back a little bit on what I was tracking. I wasn't finding tracking all of the extra things super helpful, and I wanted to have a little bit of extra space for notes instead, so I left that in. And then I'm just drawing in the colors around the section. So I use that pink red color for Instagram and the yellow for YouTube and green for TikTok this month. I just really like the color palette. I don't know, I'm in a very like back to school state of mind, and I use the apples. The apples are very much my theme for September, so I feel like that's a good fall theme, but it's also Rosh Hashanah, and I'm just really into the apples right now. So lots of apples and everything. And then I'm drawing in my notes pages. I like how I did it better in July without drawing like the sidelines and just the top bottom. I'll probably go back to that next month, but for this month I did draw in the full boxes, and I moved my tracker over. I kind of shortened my notes space since I didn't really use that much of it, or my space for like notes and ideas. Yeah, again, like I said, I've just been using the weekly pages more for that than the monthlies, than like the dashboard monthly space. So just putting in a little bit of tracking here. And that one highlighter, the green one, is from Mr. Pen. You can grab those on Amazon. All of the other pens and markers I used are from Zebra. Except for the dot markers, which are all Zig Clean Color dot markers. I have some of the regular ones and then some of the gentle color ones as well. And that teeny tiny little sticky note that's sticking on the side is actually also from Laurel Denise, and she does have new sticky notes coming out with this release. That was on my other monthly planner, and I accidentally stuck it there. I was using sticky notes to stay in frame, and they just kind of kept moving around and moving everywhere. I was just a little bit struggling. We're back after a big vacation and back to filming and all of the things. It always takes me a minute to get back into it. Anyway, I had this little bit of extra space at the bottom, and I wasn't sure what to do with it, so I threw in a little bit more washi there. I realized now that I never actually put a key in here, so I may pull that up and put a key, but honestly, I think I'm going to be okay without a key. So it's only 3 colors, or 4 colors really. The light pink I used for events, just because, again, there's so much going on this month. So I kept my big picture thing going on here. It takes me a minute to like remember what I was doing. I was listening to an audiobook while I was filming this, and I was like really into it. So I had these ideas for the 3 big pictures. I wrote down the first one, and then I could not remember what the other 2 were. So I started like fixing things on the other side of the page. And then when I remembered, I cut back it. I had to cut out like 5 minutes of dead time in the editing process here, just because it took me so long to remember. Must have been a really good part of the book. I decided to use a little bit more washi on the sidebar here. I figured I didn't need as much space since I hadn't really used as much last month. But then when I was looking at it, I decided to kind of mix things up a little bit. So I did leave a section for giveaways. I have one from MC Squares that's running over on my Instagram now. If you want to check in on that, it's like for a bundle of dry erase, wet erase goodies, and that will close actually I think today. So go ahead and check in on that if you want to enter. There is still time, but more giveaways coming later this month, so stay tuned for that. Here is the new part. I really want to try and post more this month, especially on Instagram, so I decided to make a little tracker that I could check off every time I post a reel. So I'm really just trying to be a little bit more aggressive with my posting this month after a luxurious summer break. And then while I was doing that, I was like, hey, why don't I just put my video list down here, my short form list down here, instead of having to move it every week. So I did that, and I think it was a great idea. We'll see how it works this month, but I'm really excited about that. I'm excited not to have to transfer that list every week. It takes me so long to make this list because I have to look at my phone while I'm doing it, and I get distracted.
Okay, everything is all finished up now. My camera cut out at the end while I was like going through footage on my phone to set up this last little corner down here. As you can see, I kind of mixed things up on the sidebar type space from what I did last week. I just am finding that I'm using more note space on like the day-to-day, week-to-week part and less on the monthly part. And I also was getting really tired of having to transfer my list of videos every week. It was helpful because then I was remembering to delete things off of my phone and different stuff like that, but I actually a couple months ago got a new iPhone that has a lot more storage, so it's not as pressing anymore. But anyway, so I decided to try out doing my list of short form content over on the side, and that way I can see it every day while I'm in here, or every week while I'm in here, and I don't have to keep transferring the list over. So I did just kind of mix up that little sidebar space over there. I also used a little bit more washi this month, just looking kind of cute there. I'm really happy with how this turned out. And that's actually another reason in terms of the weekly portion that I decided to go for the horizontal next year instead of the vertical. I just thought it would be really helpful to have just like a little bit of to-do listing space and then also plenty of space to take notes. I hope you enjoyed planning with me in here. If you did, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget, if you want to pick up a Laurel Denise planner, today is launch day, so happy shopping. If you do pick something up, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And again, if you want to use my affiliate link, which I always do so appreciate, and it does really help support my channel, it is down in the description below. I will talk to you all soon, and happy planning!